So hello everyone, this is Paul here, and this week I've got a short video for you on the correct use of goal seek. Now, when I say the correct use of goal seek, what I don't mean is just getting the right answer, because let's face it, any old idiot can get the right answer. What I mean is laying out your spreadsheet in such a way that it's completely obvious exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it, and so that it tells you when you need to rerun the goal seek calculation. The spreadsheet I've got on screen here shows us the overall goal of where we're aiming to go with this tutorial. We can see up on the top left we have a set of input cells for the various inputs. We have some boxes for intermediate calculations, and the important bits are these boxes down here, which are the goal seek parameters with the target cell set to 0, and we've got a check cell which tells us exactly when we need to rerun the goal seek. Finally, we have a screenshot of the goal seek pop-up box with each of the 3 goal seek parameters set in it. So if a user was to come along and to see this spreadsheet, straight away they would know that they need to rerun the goal seek, just because this box here tells them they need to rerun it. And when they see that, they know the next thing they need to do is to go to Data, What If Analysis, Goal Seek. In the pop-up, they set cell to cell F8. They set the value to 0. And they set the change cell to F10, and then they just click on OK. And then we're done. It's that easy. It's very simple, straightforward to follow, and it's obvious what the user needs to do. So just to really hit the point home about how much easier our spreadsheet will be to use after we've made our changes to it, we're going to look at what is a typical start point for somebody who's built a spreadsheet that uses goal seek. This is what I've got on the screen now. And the only way to know that the goal seek needs to be rerun is if you notice that the calculated price is not equal to the input price. So first of all, a user has to know that these two should be the same value. So to actually perform the goal seek, we would then go to What If Analysis Goal Seek, and we would need to set cell F5 to value 90, and 90 here is our input price, and we do this by changing cell C8. Okay, so the user has to know each of these input values for the goal seek. Then they click on OK. It does some calculation for us, and it gives us back the same answer that we got before. The point here is that the user doesn't know that the goal seek needs to be rerun, and even when they do know that it needs to be rerun, they have to understand exactly what's going on and what parameters you need to put in. So how can we improve on this? Well, first of all, we're going to build some cells for the goal seek parameters. We're going to use goal seek parameters. Make that bold. We need a cell to set, a target value, and a cell to change. So all of our input parameters for the goal seek are going to be right next to each other. It's going to be completely obvious exactly what they are. For the cell to set value, we're going to use the difference between the calculated price and the input price. I'm just going to put that in there. In fact, we'll use 10 decimal places in this. Okay. And for our target value, is always going to be 0. I'll talk about why later. And for our cell to change, we're going to change this cell here. We're going to set our gross redemption yield equal to the value in this cell. Okay, so at the moment we'll just put 3%. Okay, so that's each of our goal seek parameters set. Now I want you to notice a number of things about how I've set this up. First thing I want you to notice is I've arranged it so that our target value is always 0. So instead of setting these two cells to be equal to each other, instead I've said, okay, let's set the difference between these two cells to be 0. And in general, you can almost always do this. All you have to do is figure out what equation you're trying to evaluate, and you just need to rearrange it so that at one side of that equation you have a value of 0. And that's exactly what I've done here. Our target is then always 0. You don't have to go hunting around for a target value for your cell to set to be equal to. Next, what I've done is for the cell to change, I've just got one hard-coded value for a cell to change, and any other cells are then set equal to this cell to change. Again, it just keeps it clean, it keeps everything in one place. And as one final point for our check cell, what we're going to say is we're going to set up a check cell here. I'm going to say equals if round this minus this. We're going to round it to 3 decimal places. So if that's equal to 0, then we'll display OK. And otherwise, rerun goal seek. And we'll put some formatting on there. So if that's equal to OK. Okay, perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for now. And just to make life a little bit easier for a user, what we're going to do is to add in a screen grab while we run it this time around. So we're going to go data, what if analysis goal seek. We're going to set cell, our set cell to value 0 by changing cell F10. We're then just going to take a screen grab of that, click on OK, OK, and we're just going to paste that down here. OK. And that's it. So just to finish off, a few key points when building your goal seek spreadsheet are, first of all, we need to clearly label each of the goal seek inputs. And in fact, in this example, we specifically put together a small box with each of the inputs right next to each other and clearly labeled. Second point is your formula to evaluate should always be arranged such that it is equal to 0. Third point, always add a check cell so that it's completely obvious when you need to rerun the goal seek. And finally, it's very helpful to a user if you include a screen grab of the goal seek pop-up box with all of the input parameters actually set up to the relevant cells in your workbook.